And just having a look at it, it's all anthurium. Top one of the bigger plants on this side. Such a beautiful plant. This is such a beautiful plant. Beautiful plant, so beautiful. A beautiful plant is such a beautiful plant. This beautiful plant is a beautiful plant. A beautiful plant, such a beautiful plant. And this is such a beautiful plant. We're going to start with the worst one possible. Yeah, so we're definitely ending on a not so good note. And this one is where the real magic happens. Over here, I'm talking about regale hybrids, waragranum hybrids, Bessia F hybrids, some variegated plants. Goeiemorgen, goeiemiddag, goeienaand. Whether it is morning, afternoon, or evening where you are, it's always a good time to watch some plant YouTube. My name is Shanae and welcome to my plant room, where I don't just have one grow tent, I have two. As the video goes along, I will share with you exactly why I've decided to go with a grow tent setup. And over the next 2 Sundays, I will be sharing with you what I grow tent. So today I'm going to be showing you what is in this one and just having a look at it. It's all anthurium. Over in this one, I will show you that next week. There's a little bit more. I think there's maybe one philodendron, a couple of alocasias as well. So look out for that next Sunday. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so before we really get into what plants is in here, I just want to talk to you a little bit about the tent itself and what is in here. So the tent I got from a company called Plant Living. I bought it online from the website. I think it's just called plantliving.co.za. And this one is quite a big one. It's not the biggest that they have, but this is 1.2 meters by 2.4 meters by 2 meters high. So it's quite a large one. I can walk in here, I can lay down in here if I really wanted to. I can probably fit a chair in here and sit here if I really wanted to as well. So it is quite a large one. It houses quite a bit of plants. This grow tent in particular houses some of the bigger plants that I have. So you will probably see that they are a little bit closer together and it looks a little bit more hectic in here compared to the one that you'll see next week where I have also some bigger plants, but mostly some medium-sized plants. The only other thing that's in here is the light. So this I also got from Plant Living the same time as what I got the grow tent, and this one was actually quite nice. So this one is a 24 watt King Bright P55 bar grow light. Two of the bars on the side actually tilt so that I can also light up the sides of the grow tent. So it's actually quite nice. So if I don't want to put plants in this grow tent that needs a little bit lower light, I can always put them on that side and then just move the bar so that they are getting a little bit less light. But if I need to light it up a little bit, I can also just do that. So it's actually quite a nice light. It is a little bit expensive, but it's a one-off expense. So I'm getting quite a lot of value for my money on that one. But in any case, now let's really get into the plants. Alright, so I think we'll start over on the left hand side and then we'll make our way around the tent. So before we really start, I do want to show you these shells that I have, and this is very much ones that I got from Takealot. So this is either 3 or 4 layered shells. You would see that this is a layer, and for the smaller plants it works quite okay, but for plants that's a little bit larger, as you would see here, I did take out one of the shells so that the larger plants have enough space to grow taller. Alright, so let's start over on the side. So we're going to start with the worst one possible. So this one is my Bessia F Cross Ace of Spades. This one used to be quite beautiful and it actually won an award for being quite pretty, but as you can see it's quite beaten up and it only has one leaf. And the reason for that is when I moved, the movers did not take care of this plant at all. They threw another plant on top of this one and damaged this entire leaf as well as the previous ones. Those ones looked even worse, so I ended up cutting it off, but I did also repot it because it also started to get root rot, but now you can see that there is some new roots coming as well as a new growth point that has activated. So I think in no time this plant is going to look beautiful again. Next to it, I do have my King of Spades hybrid. This is the newest leaf, and as you can see, it has a massive hole. What happened was there was a leaf at the back that was facing that way, and I pushed the pot back too much, and that leaf eventually pushed the plant back and it ended up falling forward. This plant was in the corner over there and it actually hit the shelf, and that's how that tear came about. But still a beautiful plant. Can't wait for the next leaf to come in. It does have a flower incoming. I'm planning on taking the pollen and pollinating a different plant with the pollen. And that is simply because I do want to repot this. As you can see, it is in dire need of a repot. The roots are way above the substrate as well as the stem. So I think once that flower is done, then I will cut it and prop it. So there should be some more of these beautiful KOS hybrids very, very soon. Next to it, I do have a very sad looking queen, and this is an import that I got in July. I think for the last couple of weeks it's literally just been working on quite a lot of roots. This leaf of course is dying off, which is not that bad because I just saw this week there's actually 2 growth points, so over here as well as this one over here. So the plant is going to be quite okay. Hopefully in the next couple of months I should see 2 new leaves growing from this queen. At the back, I normally don't have monsteras in here, but this one is the Monstera White Lava. This one is a new import, and that's the only reason why it is in here. It's kind of just acclimating, and I'm just waiting for all of the roots to come in and a new leaf hopefully to come through. Then I will take it out and let it grow happily in ambient like all of the other monsteras. Right next to it is my dark forgetii, another tear in it. This one I filmed with it quite recently, and when I came to put it back it ended up getting that tear. The leaf was very, very soft at the time, and I guess I just wasn't as careful as I normally am, and that's where that tear come in. But look at this plant. This leaf is still so beautiful. Absolutely love the dark foliage and the limited veins that it has, as well as these neon veins that it has. So this one has 2 other leaves, but it is faced the other way, so I won't be able to show it to you right now. But interestingly, we have some seeds brewing. So this is a dark forgetii soft. I used some pollen that I took from this plant previously, and then I pollinated it, and it looks like quite a success. There seems to be quite a lot of berries on here, so I'm hoping for quite a bit of seeds. The last time I used this plant as a pollen parent, I actually got quite a bit of variegated seeds, so I'm hoping that this batch is also going to be doing that. At the same time, I also pollinated the second flower that is on here, and as you can see it is quite green and it does have a lot of bumps, so it is definitely successful. So I'm hoping to harvest those berries in probably the next couple of weeks as well. This one was pollinated by the black crystal, so that should be a beautiful hybrid. So going down, we have a red crystal crossed with a forgetii. Doesn't really look like there's any forgetii in here. It's very dominated by the red crystal, but I have pollinated this flower as well, and I've put some dark forgetii, the same one that we just saw. I put some dark forgetii pollen on there, and it does look like there's going to be quite a bit of seeds. So really excited to see how those ones turn out. Hopefully I do get a little bit of a few signers on this one. The plant that I just cannot keep happy, this is my Papilla laminum. There is constantly new growth on this one, so as you can see over here there is a new leaf incoming, but eventually it does become yellow like this. Not quite sure, haven't figured it out. I think I'm just not great with pure paps, but we'll see what happens in the future. Right next to it is a relatively new plant as well, and this one is the Anthurium Silver King crossed with Warocranium. So this one is doing quite well. It has rooted nicely over the last couple of weeks, and it finally has a new leaf on the way, so that is quite exciting. Over on this side next to it, this is a dark block F2 crossed with magnificum. This plant I used to struggle with quite a bit as it was maturing, but I think now that it is getting quite big, it's actually not giving me that much issues. So I'm hoping that with this new leaf that is incoming, that my fortunes have gotten better and I get a beautiful dark block hybrid. Over at the bottom, I do have a magpap that is not looking too great. So this is a cutting of another plant that I've taken. It is in a pot that I don't really like, and I think that's why it's not thriving at the moment, but we'll see. Over here, I have my beautiful dark queen of hearts. It also is working on a new flower. Nope. It is also working on a new leaf. So really excited to see what that one does. I think a couple of more leaves, then I'll probably put this one in ambient. I think because it's non-velvety, it might actually do okay. Let's see. Next to it, I also have a relatively new plant. This one is the Anthurium Goliath, which I got a couple of weeks ago, and this is the first leaf in my care. I think it's such a beautiful plant. Next to that one, I have my VGI. I think this is narrow form, not quite sure. Looks like the ribs are quite narrow. So let's see. This one normally don't stay in the grow tent. It's normally a ambient plant, but it's currently just recovering. It took a little bit of a back step in the last couple of months. I decided to rehab it here in the grow tent, and this was the leaf. It looks quite good. So I think maybe another leaf, then it will be ready to go back to ambient. Over here, I have my beautiful, which looks a little bit banged up, but if it's not banged up, it looks quite nice. This is the Anthurium Fort Sherman cross with red vein dog phoenix. This is such a beautiful plant. It does have a new leaf on the way, so really excited to see that one grow up. It is flowering. It is currently just finishing the female stage, so stigmatic fluid is kind of done on this one. So I will take the pollen once it is completely done. This one I've also had only for about 4 months, I think. This one is the Crystal Mag cross with Papillolamnum. This is the new leaf. It's so pretty. Absolutely love the color on this one. This is the first leaf. All of the other ones that I got in this batch actually already have about 2 or 3 leaves. This one took a while to grow, but as you can see over there, the roots are looking quite healthy. So I think from now onwards, this plant is probably going to grow quite nicely. Over here in the front, I have my beautiful Mag Cross Zara Michelle. This one always comes with the most stunning leaves or new emergence, but when it hardens off and it's a little bit older, it does have this yellow spots, and I think it's a fungal issue. This is the only plant that does this. So I actually think that it has something to do with the substrate. Maybe I'm not flushing it well enough, or I'm not quite sure. So this is also going to be dealt with in the next couple of weeks, where I'll probably change the substrate as well as that pot. Over at the back, not looking the greatest, this is my Magnificum cross with Luxuriance cross with Sagittatum. So this one, here's the previous leaf, not looking too great, but this one ripped during my recent move. But other than that, it is such a beautiful plant. There is a new leaf on the way over there. Not quite sure if the camera is focusing, but really excited to see how that one goes. At the back is this one, which is my Bessier F cross Clarinervium. Such a beautiful leaf. This leaf is dominated by the BCAF and not so much the clarinervium, but on previous leaves, the clarinervium was quite dominant. So a real hybrid, it decides which parent's characteristics it want to show on every leaf. This beautiful plant is the Hoffmanii cross with Forgetii. So not a completely fused sinus, a little bit of a semi-fused sinus coming through from the Forgetii parent. But I absolutely love this plant. It comes out with the most beautiful emergent and hardened off to this really, really dark, almost black kind of color. It is flowering and I think it's just starting the female phase. I did repot this one very recently and I also chopped it because the stem was too long for the pot that I wanted to use. So there should be another one of this one quite soon. Absolutely love this red sinus over here. If you go to the top layer, or the top shelf, over here I bought this one as a work random cross with VGI. Clearly it's not that. This one looks more like a Moronent hybrid with this really wide, almost flat sinus. I actually really like this plant, but hopefully with the November-December import, the seller is going to replace it and I will get an actual Queen Cross VGI. This is what the new leaf looks like. So pretty. And then it hardens off to this one. Absolutely love the fact that it doesn't have that clear margin over here at the end of the leaf. It kind of just looks like the veins are just chopped off. So beautiful. Next to it, I do have a crystal lux cross with sagittatum. So it's also quite a nice plant. This one during the move didn't do so well. It lost pretty much all of its leaves. So this was the new leaf that came over the last couple of months, and then it is also working on a new leaf. So maybe within the next day it is going to reach the top of the shelf, so I would have to move it tomorrow. Next to it I do have actually two color black ears. So this one is from Equigenera and this one was from the east, either Thailand or Indonesia, I can't remember exactly, but both of them are working on some new leaves, so that's exciting. I like to put them next to each other just to see the differences. So you can definitely see that they have the color veins. This one seems to have more of a red or pink in the vein, and this one doesn't. It just have the neon green. So interesting to see the differences from the different kind of countries. Over here I have another work random. So there's actually 3 work randoms in my collection and all of them is in this Growtent. They all kind of looks different, that's why I do have them. Once this one and the one that I just showed you is going to grow out, we'll be able to see what those differences look like. But this one also took a while to root, but now it has rooted and it is on the up and up. This one is the BCAF AOS prop that I took, and I just saw this week as well that there is a new grow point that is activated, so that's really exciting. If we go to the top over here, I have the Mudianum, and here you can see the new leaf. It's still very floppy, so it's probably going to expand quite a bit. At the back, kind of looking similar, is the Anthurium chamberlainii. So as these two grow, I compare them and see where they actually have differences. With this new leaf, it kind of looks like there is clear differences, but once the leaf hardens off, so you can see these two, there's somewhat of a difference, but not too much. But I think once it grows up, you'll be able to see exactly what it is, and hopefully the flowers would also maybe look different, and maybe that is going to be a cool difference as well. Over here I have a Lux Cross Red Vein Dog Phoenix, believe it or not. So this one is quite interesting. It kind of doesn't look like it. It kind of doesn't look like the parents. It definitely has some sort of lux in here, but
Yeah, questioning the tag on this one a little bit. I still like it. It does have a beautiful blue, purplish, greenish hue to it. So really pretty. It's not going to stay in the tent for too long. I think maybe another 2 days and then it's going to go into ambient. Over here is a plant that you've already seen. This one is the Anthurium. I bought it as a mag cross AOS, but clearly I think it is mislabeled. I think this is most definitely a Forgeii hybrid. But yeah, this one is such a beautiful plant as well. I absolutely love the red pinkish veins on this one. This is the BCIF cross Forgeii cross with red vein dot phoenix. Such a beautiful plant. Over on top, one of the bigger plants on this side as well is my Magnificum cross papillolaminum. Such a beautiful dark green leaf. It is working on a new leaf over here, and it's always interesting to see these ones. This is, it doesn't even look velvety, but once it hardens off, it has this beautiful velvety sheen. That leaf actually grew against the wall while I was in Cape Town for a couple of days, and now it kind of looks right once I've moved it, and it's kind of straightened itself out over the last couple of days. I'm really happy about that. This is the oldest leaf, so it does have some damage because it's very close to the light, but it just looks a little bit lighter. As you can see, the latest leaf compared to the older one, quite a stark difference. So this one is the Luxuriance Cross Regale. So this is the newest leaf, so looking quite nice. This is the oldest leaf. Of course it is dying off, but because it only has these 2 leaves, I decided to keep it on. But it just so happens that these two are facing each other, so I don't have to look at both of these leaves that don't look so nice. But this Lux Regale has given me some trouble. I think it also suffered quite a bit during the winter move, and this is the first leaf in the new house. So not looking too bad. I'm glad it's finally recovering now. So have big hopes for that one. It's such a beautiful plant once it is happy. Next to it is another Luxuriance hybrid, and this is the Crystallinum cross with Luxuriance. So it's from Ecogenera. They call it Raven Soul. Such a beautiful plant. Does have a new leaf on the way as well. Does have flower. It's flowered a couple of times, and I've decided to pollinate this one. My current obsession is a Lux hybrid crossed with a velvety leaf plant. So I've crossed this one with the Bessier F cross Ace of Spades. So that one should look quite big and beautiful as well. So hopefully it takes, and yeah, we'll see some beautiful plants there. Next to it is the Queen, and I do need to back up so that we can see the full beauty of this new leaf. What? Absolutely love this leaf. I think it's about 70 centimeters at the moment. This is the older leaf. I did forget to water it once, and that's where the browning of the leaf margins comes in. But it is working on the next leaf, and it's doing a little bit of a Cinderella shoe at the moment. I am really resisting the urge of helping this one. I think maybe I should just mist it and help it that way, but we'll see. Doing quite well. I'm hoping that the new leaf is also going to be the size or even a little bit bigger than the last leaf. It's such a beautiful plant, and I'm so glad it's happy now. Next to it, let's see if I can get there. Next to it, I do have a little bit of a sad. So that is the Dresselery cross papillolaminum. So that one, yeah, I think I'm not getting the watering correct on that one. So maybe I should adjust the wick that is in there and see if that is going to help it. But it is flowering at the moment, but because it doesn't look too happy, I've decided to just wait. As you can see, it does have stigmatic fluid on it, So I'll wait and just get the pollen from it. So there is any other plants that would look good with this kind of cross. Next to it is also a very sad plant, and that one is the Indodreslary. So that one is actually the pollen parent of quite a bit of my hybrids, but unfortunately during the move it didn't do very well. I think it even got root rot, but I've decided not to do anything to it and just let it figure itself out, and I think it has. For the longest time I think it has just worked on some new roots, but I can see some movement on this growth point, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be okay and a new leaf is going to emerge very soon. So really excited about that one. On the second shelf is this beautiful Zara Michelle cross Dreslary. I went through a little bit of a Dreslary hybrid kick and got pretty much a whole lot of Dreslary hybrids. So this is such a beautiful plant. This one actually has some damage over here and over here because it grew into this pole right next to it, as well as on the top, and I didn't see it soon enough to help it along. And that's the, I guess, bad thing about Dreslary. If it does have imperfections, you can almost see it immediately just based on the color that it has. But yeah, definitely one of my absolutely favorite plants in my collection. Next to it is a prop of the red crystal cross Frigeria that we just looked at. So it's going quite well. There's even a new leaf on the way, so that's exciting. Over here I also have a prop of the Raven Soul, which is the crystallinum cross with luxuriance. Next to it I have also one of my favorite plants, but I have been neglecting it over the last couple of months since I've moved. This one is the Black Velvet cross with Ace of Spade, cross with Ace of Spade Mint. This is such a beautiful plant, and it actually was maturing quite well. It was so massive, the leaves were so massive, but after the move it did get damaged and I ended up cutting it, but not doing too much else with it. I also decided that this one should be figuring itself out, and as you can see, here is where the old growth point were. This is a completely new growth point, so quite exciting that the plant managed to fix itself. But I think what I do want to do with this one is cut it. So as you can see, there's a lot of roots that is going to be supporting the top one. I'll maybe cut it right underneath that, and yeah, have two plants. Let this one grow on its own, and that's gonna probably be a new plant. Over here I have another magpap, which looks very different to the one that I had shown you just now. This one I think has much more of the papillolaminum traits, so quite cool. I did struggle when it was growing up, but I think now it seems to be doing quite okay. So I always call those plants that go through a grow up or a glow up, I call those ones its teenage phase. So now I think it is out of that teenage phase and growing quite beautifully. Love the new leaf, it's so red with these neon green veins, so pretty. Alright, so our last shelf on this side is also housing some of the bigger plants. So over here I do have my beautiful crystal mag. Oh, I absolutely love this plant. Here is the newest leaf that is incoming. I can already see the veining is quite different to the previous leaf. There is a lot more that I can see. So I do think that it is going to be much bigger than the previous one, which the previous one is already quite big. It does have two flowers. The one is pretty much done. I probably need to cut it off soon. And then there's a new one. So we'll see if that ends up being hybridized. Over here next to that I have also quite an interesting plant, and this one is the Magnificum cross with Subsignatum. So this is such a pretty plant. This one also went through a bit of a teenage phase where it really didn't look good, but now that it is maturing, it is looking quite good. During the winter move, this one also took a little bit of a turn for the worse, but I think now it is doing okay. This new leaf has decided to surprise me with somewhat of a fused sinus, so quite cool. I like it. I did use this pollen on another crystal mag that I have, and that one seems to be successful, so hopefully we'll see a nice cross of this plant. Actually really like it. It's flowering again. It just started the female phase, so no real plans with this one. I just needed to fix itself and mature quite nicely. So I'll probably take the pollen if pollen does come out, and yeah. Next to it is my beautiful Forgetii dark cross Forgetii silver. Yeah, this plant just gets more prettier. The new leaf is on this side. Let's see if we can turn him around. No, we can't. But it looks pretty much similar to this. I think he is pretty much reaching its maturity stage. So yeah, amazing that this one grew from a seedling just about a year and a half ago. It is constantly flowering. This one just finished the female stage, so it looks like it is having some pollen on there. In the corner we have this beautiful beast, and this is the luxury jungle inverse. So it's the Negro Laminum GG crossed with luxurians. It is such a beautiful plant. Look at the new leaf, such a nice chocolatey brown color, and with this really wide B-type sinus. It's so pretty. I did pollinate it, so this is actually the very first leaf, so I didn't have a lot of hopes for this one, but every day it does look like it is successful. This one I crossed with a velvety plant, I think the Crystal Hope Cross crystal. So like I said, I really like the luxuriance hybrid cross with some velvety leaves, so that's my current obsession as well. So hopefully that's gonna look quite good. This one holds on to so many leaves. Over there is also 2 leaves, and on that side is another leaf. So pretty. Last but not least, the bottom shelf. This one is Anthurium Baciae Galaxy crossed with Baciae F. I also got this one from Equigenera. At the time that I bought it, they seem to not have known what Baciae Galaxy is. So yeah, I also don't know at the moment. But it's such a beautiful plant. It has almost like a leathery type of texture, and it gets these massive leaves. So pretty. This one did so well. It pushed out this new leaf quite quickly, and it is also flowering. It does have stigmatic fluid in it, so quite cool. I did pot it in the pond substrate that I absolutely love, and I used a wick system for it, but I think the wick, I've maybe buried it a little bit too low in the pot, so the substrate on top dries out quite quickly, and I need to water it quite often. The plant that is in the wick system normally gets watered once a month, but this one needs to be watered probably about once a week. So before it goes out into ambient, I probably will repot it and move the wick to a more suitable place so that the wick system actually works for this one. Next to it is this beautiful Anthurium Queen Clarinovium. Clarinovium Queen? Queen Clarinovium, sounds good. This is the new leaf. This is the leaf that was in transit. Oh, it has such a lot of veins. It is so beautiful. Can't wait for the next leaf to come through. Next to it, I do have a not so good looking Dresley. I tried to help it as it was coming out, but of course I damaged it. Why do I keep on doing that? I don't know. But anyways, I also broke off the growth point, but I do see that a new one is growing in now. So quite excited to see what this plant is going to look like. So actually in South Africa we haven't seen the circus peanuts offered. yet. So if that continues, I'm hoping to do a circus peanuts of myself. So I have a dresslery. Actually, I have a couple of dressleries, and I also have some versicolors. So hopefully, once those plants are doing well and flowering, we will have some circus peanuts homegrown in South Africa. Next to it is a beautiful Forgetii hybrid. This is the Nigrolaminum GG crossed with Forgetii. This is one of the older leaves. The new leaf is over here. Still very floppy, so don't want to touch it too much for the fear that it might break. But such a pretty plant. And last but not least, we are going to end off not on a high. Actually, I forgot these plants, so definitely not last. But this is my luxuriance cross with Forgetii. This is such a beautiful plant, or it was such a beautiful plant, but during the move, it didn't do well. It actually rotted most of its root system, and like a lot of other times, I do leave it to just be, but this one didn't recover, and I actually had to repot it. It's been a couple of weeks without this plant really deteriorating even more, so I think it's gonna be okay. Hopefully it's just working on some roots, and hopefully I will have a beautiful plant again. Over on that side, I have my beautiful dorayaki, and the leaves are getting so big. I absolutely love the cupping of this leaf, so pretty. Next to it, I have a Veitchii type. Next to that, I have probably the most velvety plant in my entire collection. This one is a no ID. So next to the no ID, we have the Zara Michelle crossed with red vein dark phoenix. Such a beautiful plant, absolutely love it. Behind it is a little bit of a sad looking plant. This is the Crystal Hope. It is flowering, so 2 flowers on here. The one is producing some pollen and the one just opened, so not yet in the female stage, but no plans with that one. I actually have another one that lives out in ambient, and it actually looks much better than this one, but I think it's that part. I'm just not able to get to the watering as much as that one would appreciate. Yeah, so we're definitely ending on a not so good note. But that is pretty much all of the plants that is in this tent that I wanted to show you today.
I really hope that you enjoyed watching the tent that houses the big plants as well as the ones in recovery. If you heard me say a lot of those ones are unique, you wouldn't want to miss next week, because we're looking at this one, and this one is where the real magic happens. Over here, I'm talking about Regale hybrids, Wariguanum hybrids, Bessier F hybrids, some variegated plants, and I've decided to give you a little bit of sneak peek of what you can expect next week. Check it out. In the beginning of this video, I did tell you that I'm going to tell you as the video goes along why I've decided to grow in Growtents as opposed to growing cabinets or ambient, etc. But there wasn't enough time today, so I decided to do a couple of shorts instead and let you know that way. So watch out, maybe every 2 days at 2 p.m. South African time. So with that said, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed looking at the big anthurium and recovery tent. I will see you in my next video. Have a lekker rest of your day. Bye bye.